Hello, welcome to the instructional video for Wok Star. You're probably here because you found this in your box and you'd like to know how to play. Wok Star is a cooperative game for 2 to 4 players. You are the Wang family trying to save your restaurant from the bank. The bank has given you 4 days to save the restaurant. Each day they've given you goals of how much money you need to make to save your restaurant. If you don't reach that goal, you lose immediately. In this game, everyone has diversified roles. Everyone has ingredients and recipes that they are in charge of. And everyone has to work together under time pressure to accomplish this. So to set up the game, first of all, you need to figure out what's on the menu. You take the recipe deck, which is the green backs, and you find all the $11 and the $16 recipes. You take them, you shuffle these 2 piles, and you give a certain number of recipes based on the number of players. In a 4-player game, you're going to do 2 $11 recipes and 2 $16 recipes. And you're going to give each player a recipe. And based on those recipes, you're going to know what you're going to need to make those recipes. So on this egg rolls, you'll see we need pork, bok choy, and egg roll wraps. So we find the ingredient cards for the corresponding ingredients, and one for each ingredient. Sometimes there'll be overlap. Sometimes a recipe 2 recipes will use the same ingredient, and you distribute these among all the players. Just evenly divide the recipes. You won't always have the same an even number for all players. And then you take these hustle tokens and you cover the last 2 options on each card. So everyone's going to have a recipe and a number of ingredients that they're in charge of. Now, for every recipe you have, you're going to have customers. So you're going to take the yellow customer deck, and you're going to find the 3 copies of each dish in here from your recipe card. So I have egg rolls, and so we took the 3 egg rolls. My teammate here has fried rice, so we found the 3 fried rice. And those are going to come together to be our customer deck. There's also these red customers. They're called coupon customers. So you're going to also find those. There's going to be 2 for each recipe. So I have 2 fried rice and 2 egg rolls. You're going to shuffle those and put them off to the side. So also give each player 2 dice of their player color. So pick a color and they take 2. And then you take 2 fortune cubes. So the game is going to proceed in which we start the timer and we reveal a customer. And whoever's in charge of this customer has to serve it. So my friend here is in charge of fried rice. So at the beginning of the round, before we reveal the first customer, we take all of our dice, we flip the first timer, and we all roll our dice at the same time. And then we immediately reveal the first customer and start serving them. And what happens with customers, as soon as a customer is served, we check to see if they're late or not. If there's still time in one of the timers, then the player takes the customer face up. If both the timers are out, they take the customer face down, indicating that they're late. Now, as soon as we serve a customer, we have to choose a timer, flip it, and show the next customer. So we're going to be proceeding rapidly serving these customers. Now, how do we serve customers? The person who's in charge of it looks at what is needed. So for fried rice, he needs onions and peppers, and he needs eggs. And there are, on the board here, it shows 0 to 6 is how much we have of that ingredient ready. So he's like, okay, there's enough on the board. I'm going to move these down, both down 1, and I'm going to go ahead and take this customer. And then I check the timers, and we move on to the next customer. Now we're out of these. So we have another fried rice come up, and he's like, okay, I'm out of eggs, and I'm out of onions and peppers. And so I can make eggs, and I have a couple options here. I can use 2 dice of any type to make a single egg, or I can use 2 even dice to make 2 eggs. And you can unlock more options later. So I'm like, well, I really would like to make 2 of these, but I have a 2 and a 3. And so I'm like, hey, can I use your 2? Now, if I'm going to use someone else's dice, I have to give them one of my fortune cubes, and they can give me one of their dice. So now I have 2 2s. That matches this this combination, and I move this up 2. And then once I've used dice in one of my combinations to produce an ingredient, they go in the dirty dishes. And so the round's going to proceed, and eventually we're going to run out of dice, right? So if we're getting low on dice, so say, there's maybe 1 left, we can decide, okay, we're going to wash the dishes. So you stop both the timers, and if there's any remaining dice, you can either spend them to prepare a little bit more of an ingredient, or you can spend a die to get a hustle token. So you're like, okay, well, we only have 1 die left, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the dirty dishes, and I'm going to take a hustle token. Hustle tokens are used by the group. Anybody can use a hustle token to do 2 different things. They can use a hustle token anytime during the round to change a die up a number or down a number, so that they can make their combinations more efficient. The other thing is, if I'm out of cubes, so I can't take anybody's dice, like I've given all my cubes away, I can also discard a hustle token to take 2 cubes from another player and into my pool. So sometimes just to trade dice, you need to use your hustle tokens. So once we have all of the dice in the dirty dishes, we can say, okay, let's wash. We flip the token from first wash to second wash, and we all take our dice back, and we get ready, and we're going to re-roll them. So we start the timers back up, and we we all roll our dice, and we start again. So we're going to continue serving customers, and we only have 30 seconds per customer, and until we're either out of washes. Now we get to wash the dishes twice. Once we do the second wash, you take this token off the board, and now when we run out of dice, we don't get any more. Or if we finish the deck of customers, that also ends the round. So at the end of the round, we take all the customers that we've served, right? So say, my friend over here, he's served 2 fried rice, right? They show a dollar amount on the customer card, and that's how much money we're going to make. But before we count money, we count how many customers are face up in front of each player. So if I served 3 customers, I actually get to go up to 3 dice. If one of them is face down, we still earn money from that customer, but $1 less. So you really want to try to serve as many as you can of your customer to try to grow your dice pool, because these dice you will now get for the rest of the game. But you can only have 5 dice in your color. So if somebody already has 5 dice of a color, you want to try to help other people get more customers served of their recipe. So you first count the number of customers served, then everyone turns in all of their customers they've served back into the customer pile. And we add up all this money, and we're trying to pass the next goal we have for the day. So the first day it's 15, the next day it's 26, and if we don't make it, then we lose the game. If we make it, then we've succeeded, we're moving on to the next round, and we get a fortune cube that gets to go to whatever player we want. So that helps us get a little bit more fortune cubes. And then we have to decide how we're going to upgrade. If we have any coupon customers, they go back into the coupon deck. We count the money that we earn from them, but they don't get to stick around. They actually go back into it's called the advertising deck. So we're going to spend this money on several different things. We can buy a new recipe. To buy a new recipe, we take all the recipes that aren't on our menu, we shuffle them, and we deal 3 out. These are the options for purchasing a recipe. The cost for the recipe is up in the corner, so $11, $16. There's ones that are also $31. So if we want to buy a recipe, say I want to buy egg drop soup, we can decide which player is going to get egg drop soup and be in charge of it. We reduce this by $11, and we go through the same process. We look at, are there any ingredients on this card that we don't already have on our board? So if we're going to do egg drop soup, we need to get the token for chicken broth, and it will start on the board at the 1 tier. And we also get the 3 yellow customers and the 2 coupon customers and shuffle them into their respective decks. And also the ingredient cards. So if somebody's in charge of chicken broth, we now assign that to someone, and we cover these 2 options with hustle tokens. So say we don't want to get a customer, we don't want to get a recipe. We want to get better at ingredients because maybe we were short on ingredients last time. We can, for $6, you can remove the next hustle token off of your preparation, and then this is just for one player. So we can say, okay, let's upgrade maybe his bok choy and bamboo and my egg roll wrap, $6 each. So that'd be $12 if we want to upgrade both of them. And we get the hustle tokens that come off the board go to the community hustle pool that we can use during the round. This by upgrading, we've unlocked a new option. So now I can make 3 egg roll wraps for a pair of matching dice. So that's good, especially if we have 2 recipes that are using the same ingredient. We'll often want to upgrade the ingredient that's getting used a lot. And also, if we just really want more hustle, we can buy these for $2 each out of the supply, and we can have more hustle. Now, if we don't use all the money that we don't use during the round actually goes away. So we want to spend as much as we can because the money's going to zero out. And now on the next round, we're going to have to reach an even higher amount of money. And then in the 4th round, we have to make all the way. We're going to make 50 in a 4-player game. We're going to make $56 in the last round to win the game. Now, in addition to these 3 different purchase options, you can take coupon customers. The thing about coupon customers is they're free. But we don't get to choose which ones. We shuffle the coupon deck that include all of the coupon customers for the recipes that we serve, and then we can choose any number of these. So we take our normal customers, and we decide how many coupon customers we're going to take. Now, the downside of coupon customers is they basically pay half. We don't make as much money off of coupon customers, but they do make some money. And they're going to help us unlock more dice. So oftentimes you'll take a few of these hoping that somebody can serve enough customers to grow their pool. So once we have all that set, we've got our new recipes, our upgrades, we've decided how many coupon customers we're going to do. We shuffle all that, and we're going to start the next round. And it will proceed with flipping a timer, everyone rolling their dice, and revealing the first customer. And then we're going to proceed making ingredients. Now, the real trick is if an ingredient's out, you want to make sure whoever's in charge of that is on top of it. Because if you're out of multiple ingredients and you've only got 30 seconds to get all those ingredients ready and switch dice with people, because in Wok Star, when the timer's running, everyone can act at the same time. Someone can be preparing one ingredient, another person can be preparing another ingredient, and someone can be serving a customer. Now, if you're serving an ingredient, if you're preparing an ingredient, only you can move that up. It's important because oftentimes things will get double counted if someone's moving the token up for somebody else. Also, if you're in charge of serving a customer, you're the one who moves those ingredients down. So the gameplay will proceed round by round, and then in the last round we can make it all the way to the goal, then we win. If on any turn we don't make our goal, we lose. There are 2 variants that are recommended. There are player powers, so you can shuffle these and give these one to each player. They give a once per round ability to each player, which lets them, use a special ability. And there's also events, which are a lot of fun. That you shuffle, I believe, 2 of these into the customer deck. After you've done all your upgrades and everything, you take these face down, you shuffle them, and you deal 2 into the deck and shuffle them in. And some of these are going to help you, some of these are not going to help you, but they do make for a good time. Thank you for watching the instructions on Wok Star. We are going to have links to FAQ, and we'll also have, you can post questions on Board Game Geek under the Wok Star page, and thank you for your time.